Tony Khan has revealed AEW's newest signing, and Triple H made a huge announcement on Friday Night SmackDown. But first, this past Wednesday on AEW Dynamite, former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Jay White would become All Elite, linking up with Bullet Club teammate Juice Robinson in the process. It was later confirmed that White had officially signed with the company after being a free agent, with WWE having also shown interest in his services over recent months. In an update provided by Fightful Select, it has been confirmed that White has signed a multi-year contract with AEW, despite there being fan speculation that he could have appeared at Mania or the Raw after Mania. The report adds that WWE have been confident in signing White over recent weeks, with it being Triple H and William Regal that were particularly interested in bringing him in. However, there appears to have been poor communication on WWE's part, which led to him slipping away, with the report adding, WWE higher-ups said the company failed to communicate properly along the process, before noting that AEW landing him over WWE could have been a product of Vince McMahon's returns and the lack of main roster hires since then. There were communications between Jay White and both WWE and AEW. It was noted that there were even tentative creative plans for Switchblade were he to sign with WWE, and while higher-ups knew time was ticking on getting a deal done, there were some in the company as of last week that were hoping WWE could still land him, which of course didn't happen. Next, we have an update on the creative plans for the WWE feud between Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes, which began this past Monday on Raw. The show would end with a heel turn, with Lesnar wiping Cody out before the match that would have seen them team together to take on the Bloodline's Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. According to a fresh report from Fightful Select, once again, whilst there were some changes made to Cody Rhodes' Monday Night Raw plans following the return of Vince McMahon, who made several adjustments to the format, plans for the rivalry had been in place since before McMahon took back the reins, and Fightful would note, sources familiar with the situation say that Brock Lesnar was aware of his creative plans for after WrestleMania nearly a month ahead of time. We can't say that the entirety of creative knew that was the direction, but that those in the know, specifically Brock, were aware that was the plan moving forward. There were hints of a heel turn in his presentation based on those we spoke to, not getting back into the ring with Omos, backing out of the ring in some interactions with Omos, avoiding contact were some hints. The creative plans for Brock to stand side by side with Cody, then eventually F5ing him, were laid out to him a month before Raw after Mania. Over recent months, there's been a lot of talk over which wrestlers don't want CM Punk back in the AEW locker room following the recent controversies. However, we know the name of one talent that's on his side, that being the popular Danhausen. Danhausen, who is currently on the shelf having recently suffered a torn pectoral muscle at AEW Revolution, would take to Twitter to tell a story about the straight-edge superstar and his act of kindness, and Dan would write, I've had a rough month with everything going on, and a great friend of mine, Pepsi Phil, surprised me today with a Holy Grail collectible in an unspeakable act of kindness among other suspected unspeakable acts of kindness. He'll be mad that I posted this. I don't care, this is my revenge. One more note, this man has checked on me literally every day since I got injured and since the loss of my cousin to make sure I'm okay aside from normal friend talks. So has Brody King, he will bully me. The post was joined by an image of Danhausen holding an extremely valuable Marvel comic, Amazing Fantasy number 15, which features the first appearance from Spider-Man in the series. Despite the low grade on the item, it still holds a 5-figure valuation, being worth over $10,000. A very nice, not so evil gift from Pepsi Phil. Next up, let's go to some news regarding All Elite Wrestling's upcoming Wembley Stadium show, which is set for August 27th in London, England. Since the news broke, one name on the lips of fans has been Will Ospreay, who is arguably the best British talent on the planet right now, with him currently under contract with AEW's partners, New Japan Pro Wrestling. With fans hoping that Ospreay will be on the show, the man himself would seemingly express a mutual interest in making this happen when he took to Twitter to write, Wembley, eh? With that said, Will is currently sidelined, with him having suffered a shoulder injury during his recent New Japan Cup match against United Empire stablemate Mark Davis. Regarding the knock, Ospreay would then provide an update on his current status and wrote, just an update for you all, I have more range of motion in my shoulder but still struggling with strength. I think I'll be okay, but I'm just going through my physio with this as I don't want to come back too early and this thing rip off. Much love, miss you all. Whilst there is currently no known timetable for his recovery, fans now await to see if Will Ospreay will be Wembley bound. And before we continue, why not drop a like down below if you're enjoying the video and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss the latest wrestling news as we try to reach 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But with that said, let's get to the next story. And speaking of AEW, a talent has now been removed from the official AEW roster page following a recent controversy. This week, Sherilyn Guerrero, the daughter of Vicky and Eddie Guerrero, would take to her TikTok page to allege that her now stepfather Chris Benson had sexually assaulted her, with her mother choosing to side with him instead of her. Vicky would then issue a response of her own on her Instagram page, which has now been deleted, calling her daughter a narcissist, noting that she is tired of her lies and disrespect. Whatever the case, All Elite Wrestling have now seemingly responded to the story, having now removed Vicky Guerrero from their official website roster page, a sign that she is now out of the company. Vicky would take to Twitter earlier this year to reveal that she will be departing AEW via mutual consent, with her contract set to expire in July. However, it looks like her exit date has been brought forward due to the recent story. And Vicky isn't the only one finding themselves in hot water, as WWE are currently receiving backlash for one of the video packages used to promote a WrestleMania match. During the pre-show for WrestleMania Night 1, a hype video would air for the match between Rey and Dominic Mysterio, with eagle-eyed fans noticing that the company had used footage of the Auschwitz concentration camp, which was operated by the Nazis during World War II. However, once the same video package aired on WrestleMania itself, the footage had been removed and replaced with generic prison footage. While Auschwitz Memorial Museum has now taken to Twitter to release a statement on the situation, with them doubting that this was any kind of accident, and they would write, "The fact that Auschwitz image was used to promote a WWE match is hard to call an editing mistake. Exploiting the site that became a symbol of enormous human tragedy is shameless and insults the memory of all victims of Auschwitz." Last night, AEW President Tony Khan would provide fans with some Good Friday news, with him taking to Twitter to reveal that the company had signed a popular star to a contract. Khan would take to Twitter to say, "Some great news for Easter weekend. One of AEW's rising homegrown stars, Sky Blue, is officially All Elite. Wishing everyone the best on Good Friday." Sky has been a part of AEW for well over a year at this point, having debuted in April 2021 before becoming a regular on the roster right before the All Out pay-per-view in September 2021. It appears that her appearances since then have been without an exclusive contract, something that has now officially changed. Prior to last night's episode of WWE SmackDown, it would be revealed that Triple H had an announcement for the WWE Universe, leading to fans to speculate what this could be. When the news came around, the Chief Content Officer would announce the return of the WWE Draft, with every single superstar eligible to be picked by Raw and SmackDown. Whilst no date was given, Triple H would note that the draft will be coming in a few weeks, adding that this year's draft will truly change the game. Another question heading into SmackDown was if Vince McMahon would be running the show once again, much like we saw this past Monday on Raw, an episode that was heavily criticized. It was even reported that Vince had made a ton of last-minute changes, some of which taking place whilst the show was on the air. In a report from PW Insider, they would note that McMahon was not in attendance at SmackDown, although he was in contact with production remotely and did make some minor changes to the show. How much influence he had on the initial plans and what was changed remains to be seen. And before you go, make sure you check out the 10 free agents that are set to shake up WrestleMania season.